Hi everyone, happy Sunday. So I kept going back and forth on whether I was going to do this video this weekend or next weekend, but I think we are just going to go ahead and move forward with it. So a week, 2 weeks ago, I posted like kind of a blog update video where I showed most of the pages I completed this month. Today I have one, four more pictures to show you. That I was able to complete for the remainder of the month. I did kind of cheat and do some of them today on the 1st, but we're still going to count them for May because I have tags I want them to count for. So this is what I'm going to do. For those of you that watch the updates video, you've already seen most of the pages, so I'm going to show the ones I've completed since then first, and then that way, like, if you don't need to see anything else, then I'm glad you stopped by and I won't waste your time. But then if you do want to see what else I did complete this month, I'll be sharing that as well. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I was going to say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did 9 non-color by number pages this month and 3 color by numbers. So pretty good month for me. Definitely, this has probably been my best month so far this year. I also don't know. There's a lot of things in play right now in terms of June, so that's another reason I want to go ahead and do this before things, possibly get busy, and I'll, you know, touch on that at the end of the video. So, um, really good month for non-color by number. I haven't been coloring a lot of color by number lately. I have like a shelf and a half worth of color by number, and I don't know why. I don't know why, except for the Sen Ong book, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I have been enjoying that, and I've been really wanting to get into the Hachette Heroes books. Definitely those as well. So, all right. Without further ado, let's first show the 4 pages I completed in my coloring marathon. You're thinking, oh yeah, you did those over the past couple weeks or past week. No, no. I did a lot of these last 2 days. I kind of had a coloring marathon. So pretty much hot off being colored, I actually need to keep some of these open just to give them enough time to dry. So I did color in these books to round out the end of the month and give us some new pictures to look at. Like I said, I'm really proud that I actually did that, and I needed the distraction this weekend for sure. Matchstick Mouse, a rainy day coloring book. So I had a couple of hashtags this month. The unique tag for May was Kits and Caboodles Birthday Cats 2025. Or I think it's B-Day Cats. I have to go look. And that was just, it's my birthday month. Let's color cats for the month on Instagram. Thank you so much to everybody that participated. I still need to go and check out everybody's pictures. It was more like, I mean, if other people wanted to contribute, of course, I appreciate it and I love that. But it's also one of those things like, I wanted to make sure I colored some cats for the month as well. So, Matchstick Mouse, a rainy day coloring book. I actually just posted this one on Instagram today. We have this one, which turned out so good. I tell you what, I don't know why I get hung up on these pages when it's marker, alcohol marker, and then I shade with pastel pencil, and then I come in with like white gel pen or glitter gel pen or something for accents. They're easy pages for me to do. They always turn out really good once I add the shading in, and I don't know why I don't do more of these, and that's just something I need to change. Anyway, this turned out super cute. Like I said, just alcohol markers for base, the Derwent pastel pencil set for shading, And then I did a little bit of shine around his eyes, on his collar, and the on Matchstick Mouse's hat. So just a little bit of shiny there. And yeah, I also colored this cat. Uh, my cat Bagheera has been on my mind a lot. He's having some health issues, and so I wanted to color the cat to look a lot like him. Actually, there's one thing I forgot to do that we're going to do right now. It's okay because I need to spray this page anyway with fixative. Anytime I use pastel pencils, I just want to make sure that little tooth is showing that was in the original picture. This is my favorite way to color black cats, by the way. I'll use like a CG7 as a base, and then I come in with black pastel pencil or black colored pencil to create the actual black cat that keeps the details like his little nose and like his little cheeks and everything without losing those, coloring this like a solid black color and losing a lot of the detail work. It's something, just a tip that I really works well for me. So here's him. Might be my favorite this month. Like I said, Bagheera's been on my mind a lot, and so yeah. Alright, next up, like, just finished this one before I did this video. And again, it's been a while since I've colored in a Camellia Angel Cova book, and I don't know why, because I so enjoyed doing this picture. This is from 50 Vacation Miniatures, and also for birthday cats. Kits and Caboodles birthday cats, we have this adorable tiger. I got out my markers and I did shading and blending with colors on the boat, on the tiger, on his hat, like on the sail. It turned out so pretty. I just love looking at it. I haven't really taken the time to like blend with markers like this in a while. And did that, of course, with the water. Then I come in with some the Copic white to create the little fish stencil here. I think it was an anchor, but the blue kind of marked it out, so I just put a fish there instead. Put some little paw prints on the flag. I was originally going to put some fish on the sails just to give a little texture, but I didn't have like a square where the pattern was created, so I was going to have to create the pattern myself, and I'm not very good at that, especially when stuff's at an angle like these sails. So I just decided to use a little square pattern just to give a little bit of texture to them with some gold gel pen. And I also used the super golden markers on the anchor and on the detail of the boat. I think he turned out great. I'm going to post him later tonight on Instagram, and very pleased with how this one turned out. And again, I forget how much fun I have when I color these, so fingers crossed we see more of these in the future. Spring mandalas. I wanted to get at least one more in here before I switch to her summer mandalas book. This is her newest release where she updated some of the pictures and the line art. I've only been able to do like the, I think, Clover one for March. And I wanted to get at least one more in here. And I had a couple flagged. So one thing I'm really proud of is the plans. Like if you saw any of the plans I had at the beginning of the month or in that update video, I actually colored a number of the pages that I had marked for plans, which is a huge accomplishment for me. I'm like really proud of myself for that. And this was one of them. And I did what I wanted to do, which was some color variation in the tulips. And so I used like an orange yellow blend here, kind of went red orange to yellow. And then this was supposed to be more of like a red violet to light violet. But I have the darndest time with violet markers and pencils. Like that seems to be the hardest color to, other than reds for me, and that's because I'm weirdly colorblind when it comes to reds. But purples seem hard to find that kind of blend that I want, but it's good enough. I'm happy with it. Love how I was going to originally do the ladybug heads black, but then I was like, I wanted a repeat of this. So I am really happy I did that. Just some light marker blending here, a little bit of white gel pen for accents. Just overall, I feel like a really pleasing picture, like eye palette wise, like pleasing to my eye kind of picture to look at, because I love like purples and oranges and greens, like this type of vibrancy. So that turned out really nice. And I am fully caught up in this book. This is part of my Halloween All Year Long Deb 2025 tag. Each month I pick 2 pages. The goal is to try to complete this book by the end of 2026. I know, why did I put a year on the tag, but you know, it's done. I'm not doing a new tag at this point. I pick 2 pages a month. Some months I'll have to be 3, but I'm just not feeling one of those months yet. So I'll pick 2 pages. If people want to participate in the project book with me, they certainly can. If you just like one of the pictures I colored that month and you want to color in it, you can also participate, because this is just a overall enjoying Deborah Muller's work kind of thing. So I actually did 3 pages in here. I had one, I'll show you the one I hadn't done yet, and I'll show you the other 2, and then at that point we'll be getting into pages I showed in the middle of the month. So this was the one that I did yesterday. And it is bugging me. It is bugging me, and so we're going to fix it right now. I picked this picture because, of course, it's my birthday month, and this was the last picture I had for the month. And there are just certain things that I really, that are my comfort zone when I color. One's a good solid black background. The other one's a lot of glitter and iridescent and shiny metallic. You can see that in the streamers, in the balloons, in the icing on the cake. I also love the combination of this like purple and lime green. So I decked her out in that. And then colored her up like me. I had, the blue didn't go too, for some reason I put the brown over the blue and I wasn't thinking, so it looks more greenish now. But at one point last year I put blue streaks in my hair, the year before, and I really liked them. Haven't done it recently, but I still wanted to have them there. I even put a couple gray hairs in here because you know, they're there. I don't want to acknowledge them, but they're there, so we're just gonna do that. Anyway, I just tapped into my comfort zone in this picture, and I feel I really like it. The one thing I want to change is I should have made this in white icing. And I'm going to probably have 2 layers of this. I went back over it with black ink, and then I kept looking where I posted it online, and I was like, you can't really see that. So like I said, I'll go over it 1 or 2 more times. It's going to eat me alive every time I look at this, if I don't try at least to see if it'll stay that way. There we go. Well, that's not much better, is it? Okay, whatever. I'll go over it once, twice, and then I'm going to call it good. But yeah, second page for the month. Alright, so now I'm going to show you pages I showed in the updates video. Like I said, if you've already seen all my other finished pages and you want to, there's a lot of other videos being posted right now. Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the tags with me. Oh, I will say, I also have the other tag, hashtag fave coloring book artist 2025, that all of these I think are falling under. that I'm coloring in. And I really enjoyed that tag. A lot of other people seem to enjoy it, and it's for basically self-published artists, and so been having a lot of fun with that one, and really tapping into some of these artists and books that I collect and I enjoy, but I haven't been coloring in as much as I should. So that will continue in June, and then some other tags will, and the Deb, Halloween all year long Deb, this one will continue. I will post the 2 pictures for that at some point in the next few days, and then we'll have a new tag starting, which is our lovely annual watercolor summer. Yes, folks, as far as I know, it's coming back as long as nobody jacks my hashtag. But we'll talk more about that later in the week. So, all right, the other 2 pages I did this month was this one. This was actually a April page that I hadn't completed. And you know how sometimes you pick a page and you're like, yeah, I'll color it, it'll be fine. And then you get there and you're like, all of a sudden you're doing all kinds of extra. And that was what this page turned into. There was just a normal when I cheap. Normal's doing the heavy lifting there. Um, the background, there wasn't clouds, there wasn't anything. So basically I wanted to make it creepy, make it weird, do something different with it. So I had the thunderstorm with kind of my half-ass lightning. I really should look into how to make that look better, but it's good enough. I'm pretty okay with my clouds. I'm just now trying some different techniques with clouds and acrylic paint markers, and these turned out okay. I was actually kind of cool with them. There was some rain here, but I think I created the other raindrops. I added a lot more. I saw this color combo on somebody's page. I wish I'd saved it, but I really liked it and decided I was going to utilize that. Did that. And then the little lamb that was here, I decided to make it a ghost lamb. So that is white gel pen over all the black line art, and then some white pastel rubbed in to give it a ghostly look. And like I said, this actually turned out quite intricate, and I spent quite a bit of time on it, more so than I anticipated, but had some cool effects. I'm really pleased with the lamb. I had a lot of rain pictures this month, I guess because April showers and like that actually led into May around here. It's been like it was a really cool May with a lot of rain. It was kind of like our weather patterns have been about a month behind. So you're going to see well, you've already seen one. This is the second one. There'll be one more that'll have rain in it. So, and then my other one was my Mother's Day page selection for the month. I did this one. This is where I used the Gravy glitter markers, and I just wanted her, like, because she's got the Elvira vibes, like, I wanted her to have, or Morticia Adams, I wanted her to just have a rainbow dress for something different. And I fought, and I talk about it some, but I fought with those glitter markers on big spaces like this. I also didn't like that they left a very silver base there. It's not as much glittery as it is shiny, I guess. Anyway, they wouldn't flow. Like, they have their pump action, and I would shake them and use the pump action to get them flowing, but they just wouldn't keep flowing. Like, they just kept running out on me, and it was especially the silver. This poor little girl, like, I kept having to pull it and then kind of paint it around her outfit, and so that's why it looks so rough. If it wasn't for the fact that there's a brown marker in there, and I never see brown, like, glitter type markers or pens, I probably would have just tossed the whole pack. Like, I was that frustrated with it. I bought some different ones to try, some Ohuhus. There's not as many colors in there, and I don't think there was like a brown, but I thought it'd be worth a try. but the rest of it's just marker. I stuck with my favorite Halloween colors, which is like, again, that purple and lime green with a little bit of orange added in, and then kind of like a warm gray and some little bits of red. So, um, I will post the June pictures here in the next couple days. That might be a good one. Um, that's probably gonna be a good June or July one. Um, so far I have had 2 a month, so we have 10 pictures in here. Certainly the most I've done in a Deborah Muller book, and it's not a dig to Deborah Muller's art. It's just the fact that she has so many books that I like. But this will be a good one, I think. Just kind of looking to get an idea. But no, I have so many of her books. That's like what I'm saying is it's extremely hard to color in one frequently because I have so many of hers that I like. Okay, I'm going to put that one off to the side because of the gel pen. R.J. Hampson, Moonlight Mischief. I had a long-standing whip in this one that I finished. Huzzah. Really like how this came out. The color scheme was one I just cooked up. I'm trying to think. Other than the one that I was inspired by in Deborah Muller, I think I cooked up all my own color schemes this month. Yeah. Which is unusual. Normally I grab a couple palettes from the Color Cube or something. So, but this one, when I initially put the base layer on, I just wanted cool like purples and blues because it's like the black background nighttime scene kind of thing. And then I really got stuck on the colors here, but I kind of just made it work. So I based all this in super color watercolor pencils, which tend to be, other than the aquarelle, the ones I can use the least amount of water on, and they still kind of, they still dissolve well. So I based it in that. It sat for months. I got my ChromaFlow pencils out and finished it this month. Because I wanted to try them on Amazon paper. I tried them in a lot of different papers, and I, when I did the flowers with them, I was kind of frustrated with them, but I was really stressed out and I wasn't taking my time with them. But I found I liked them more when I was working on the second half of this page, like when I was coloring in the rabbit, shading in the fox. I found they were a little bit more enjoyable when I was able to relax and not use as heavy a pressure with them. They're still not like my absolute favorite pencils, but I've used them probably. They're one of the most used I've had, and I'm okay with them. I think there are other ones I prefer, but I have to say the Derwent, especially the ChromaFlow color selection, is one of my favorites. Their color palette that they put together with those pencils is fantastic. I guess I should see and compare to Lightfast to see, and Color Soft and stuff. I think the Color Softs are only 72 if I'm right, to see if they match up. But I have to say the color palette of the ChromaFlow pencils is really nice, and it's one of my favorites. So very proud of that picture. I think I'm going to start trying to work through this book. I have 2 pages back to back, and of course I love this page, so maybe I just start working in this one. It's really hard. You're like, you get in one book and you're like, I want to do all the pages in this book, and then you get other books of theirs, and it gets difficult. Cute guy moments. And that's with a lot of the coloring book artists I'm talking about today. I have a number of their books because I love all their art, but it's hard to make any progress, like do more than a page or 2 in one book, and then the next month I want to color in another book. For example, this is Joshua Dunbar's latest release, Cute Guy Moments. I picked the very first page in this one and did this, which I feel like is an unusual color palette for me. However, in his Christmas Cuties book, I had done a page with this color palette, and it was a cat in a window seat. And when I saw this picture, I'm like, wow, that's kind of a continuation of that picture. So I'm just going to use that color scheme for the whole page. And so that's what I did. Had a lot of fun with that. Had a lot of fun with the plaid pattern. Um, and the wallpaper. It turned out really nice. Like these are colors. This is a color combo with like the light, kind of the gold, and then the gray. It's a very warmer palette with some cools thrown in. But like the golds and stuff. It was so funny. I wanted to do some sort of texture on the wall, and I found the bubbles, and I originally was going to use like a light green, and it just looked like mold growing on his walls. So I switched to the gold super color marker, and that just really set it off. I don't know. It's something about it that's really appealing now that I haven't been able to duplicate. So I was really pleased with that. Um, just white highlights. The plaid pattern was this, like I said, the color scheme I already had. But yeah, it's very warm and cozy and comfy, and love this book. Poet Spice has a Hot Guy Summer tag that I think this will be a great book for. With my non-color by numbers, the last page I'll show you is out of Furballs by Diane Dufour. This is the page that I'm starting to work from front to back, and we did this page, which I knew what I wanted to do with it for a long time. It was just actually getting to it. For a change of pace, I used some Tombow markers as a base instead of watercolors or watercolor pencils. And I actually quite enjoyed that, so I need to be using my water-based markers more often, so gonna start doing that more. Used a little bit of distress ink on a Q-tip for the bricks to give them that pattern. I love how that turned out. And then had a marker or something underneath to give it that shaded look. Um, yeah, I think I used pencil. What did I use? What did I use? Oh boy. How do I not remember? That is wild. I do not remember what pencils I used. I think I used Prismacolors. I really think I did, which is highly unusual for me, but I'm pretty sure I used Prismacolors. Glitter gel pens for the leaves. I drew in these little white flowers, which is why they don't look too great, but I was happy enough with them. Again, kind of drew in the clouds, did some pastel here in the background. This was also for the birthday cats tag, because lots of kitties this month. And just, had some fun with this picture, doing different colors. Used this a lot, and I talk about it in the updates video, that I don't love this as much as I love the Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. This, if you use it enough, can be kind of an off-white. And if you're not real careful with the brush that's in it, it will blob very easily, and I got very frustrated trying to use it. I mean, I've still found opportunities to use that. The little fish on the Camellia Angel Cove page I had was turning colors even though it was a blue, so when I used the white gel pen, so I put that over the top and it was fine. So I mean, I'll still have a use for it, but if I had to pick one, I'd go with the P.H. Martin's if I'm going to have a bleed proof white to use. So, and I think that's where some of these raindrops came in, and then I used a little bit of blue glitter gel pen along with those. So there were my non-color by numbers. I did have a color and chat out of finally a Hachette Heroes book, my felines cats Disney book that I'm actually doing front to back. We did this page, and this was also for my birthday cat's tag. I tried out those fancy schmancy acrylic markers, the Molotow markers, on most of this, which I was really pleased with. These are refillable. Um, Liked those. And then the rest of it was the big brush Faber-Castell Pitt pens. I feel like there was one other type of water-based marker I used, and then the colors I couldn't find in any of my paint pens or water-based markers. I used Prismacolor pencils. His claws and this color of his fur, this like light brown. Wore out my wrists doing that on this page, but I wanted to try a page with multiple mediums to see how I like it. And again, while it's not entirely smooth, mostly because of the water-based markers, I'm pretty pleased with this. I thought it turned out quite nice. Probably the smoothest look I've gotten so far. The Cheshire Cat one's pretty smooth. This one was also acrylic paint pens, and whoops, this was also acrylic paint and Prismacolors. I think the acrylic paint and Prismacolors is probably the way to go if I want an entirely smooth picture. So those are like, I go with acrylic paint pens first. What I can't get there, I go with water-based markers. What I can't find there, I go with colored pencils because I have to use heavy pressure with those. And so I try to limit how often I have to use them. So, who's next up? I won't show y'all the solution. I don't... Oh, I think it's from Rooster Cats. It's the cat with the trumpet is next up. So I'm probably going to work on him in June. I was saying I don't want a lot of color by number, but I am enjoying those color by numbers and want to do more of those. And then these. This one in particular, Stained Glass Adorable Cats by Sin Ong. I'm really enjoying this one. The two I did in May are this cute little farm cat. I went a little too orange with the eyes, but he still turned out quite nice. And then we had Splashy Cat in the water. Again, his eyes are a little... I need to find a better light orange because it's looking more like bright orange. And I thought about coming in with a white gel pen, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I could if I wanted to, but for the most part, these are supposed to just be relaxing and not extra, so there's those. I was hoping to get one more of these done, but maybe tonight. That's the next one. I'm really looking forward to that. I do back to front in these because the color palette's on the side, and obviously when you color over it, it can be hard to read. So I go back to front, usually, in these types of books. And there you go. There is May. May was ambitious in terms of plans, but I felt like I did it justice for the month. Pretty proud of myself, especially in the middle when I started having problems with a tooth that is still giving me problems to this day. And I was making really good progress and it threw me off track, but that is okay. That's why when I posted my plans video at the beginning of May, I said May and June, because I figured there's going to be quite a few pictures I'll have to do in June. Like I said, I'll have 2 new pages for the Halloween All Year Long project. We'll kick off Watercolor Summer. I have ideas of some extra videos I want to do for Watercolor Summer. I'll have a supply haul, probably not next weekend, but the next. Next weekend's probably going to be a color and chat or a tag or something, depending on how the week goes. The next week will be probably a supply haul. Hopefully we'll have a watercolor video in here somewhere. Maybe that's what I'll do next weekend is kick off Watercolor Summer. with a picture with a watercolor base at least. And that's all I got right now. Um, but it's, we'll have to see. Um, as I was noting before, I'm still having problems with that tooth. We are going to go back in and try one more thing to see if I can get it fixed. If that doesn't do it, we're just going to have to pull it, which sucks because it's been like a month. It's been bothering me, but we got to do something because it's supposed, there was a root canal and there, that tooth not should not be feeling anything, but is feeling all the things. It's feeling big feelings still. So, yeah. Anyway, doing that Tuesday. Um, and also, Bagheera, as I noted earlier, he's actually he is probably 18 or close to 18. He is my second oldest cat, and 2 years ago he got diagnosed with Cushing's syndrome, as a complication probably from being diabetic for 10 years plus years and being on insulin. And it's been really manageable up until about February, and then we started really noticing a decline, particularly muscle weakness is a problem with Cushing's, and he is having some issues with his back legs, dropping weight. He's actually in remission from diabetes right now, which is the irony. But he's been particularly struggling the past few months, and we had a little bit of a rough weekend with him, trying some different medicine to see if we can stop the weight loss. He had a bad reaction to that, and so I'm extremely worried about him. It's hard. Coloring really did help this weekend to just pass the time, so I wasn't sitting there staring in space, but um, no, I don't know how much time he has. It's just a lot closer than I anticipated, and he just, like, he declined, and he didn't decline just a little, he declined a lot. And Cushing's doesn't have a very good long prognosis. A lot of the treatments for it we've had to rule out just because of his age and his diabetes, and honestly, given his stress, like, because stress causes more cortisol production and he is an easily stressed cat, I have to look at quality of life. I'm not gonna shorten his time left and his quality of life left dragging him to multiple specialist appointments in Nashville when ultimately it's just going to make him more miserable in what time he has left. So trust and believe, they're like my kids. I am desperately weighing all options and trying to do everything I possibly can to for him to be comfortable and for him to be happy. I just, I don't know how much time I have left with him. And so if something does go awry or things get extreme, I may go quiet. I'll try to keep you updated on the community tab, but um, if you've been around for a while, like when one of my cats has, like a terminal illness or there's issues like that, like sometimes I just need a break from the channel. So, but just wanted to keep you apprised, and I just, like I said, it's been a really rough weekend. Um, and he seems like he's having a pretty good day today, but yeah, I just don't know what we're going to be able to do long term to counteract some of the issues we're seeing right now. We're kind of just short. He's very sensitive to medication, so every time we try to introduce, and that's what happened Friday, is we tried to introduce an anti-nausea med, and it just caused a lot of complications and issues because his system is so sensitive because of the Cushing's. So, anyway, I'm hoping next weekend I can talk about what happened with my tooth, and maybe I'll have some more answers on him, and yeah, we can just, or we can do a tag. We'll just see where the wind takes us and go from there. But I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening to me prattle on here at the end. It's just, it's occupying my mind a lot right now, and it's just hard to think of a lot of other stuff. Or he has a lot of stress and cortisol in his system, and I have a lot of stress and cortisol in my system. Which, if he senses it in me, I'm sure I'm not helping here keep things calm. But we're trying. He, you know, for the for everything, he still is always looking for food. He wants to get up and go outside and watch the birds and nap on the porch in the evenings. He wants to get up. He wants me to pick him up and put him on the couch in the evenings and love on him like 2 or 3 times. Like, he's still happy. He still seems like he wants to be here, and I just want to try to keep that environment going for him as long as possible and keep him comfortable. So, all right. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.